Hi everybody, this is a continuation of the last video and we are starting on this log job at Paul Smith College. This is the second lot on Paul Smith College we've been working on. The first job got kind of wet, so we pulled out of there. So what I've done here on where my landing is going to be, I've got it all cleaned out now, and my first skid trail is going to be headed up that way. And what I'm going to do is pull the logs down towards the skid steer and stop here and then cut them up to a length. And I will start stacking them right here, and I'll work down the hill with my pile of logs so the trucker will be able to back right in from the road to pick these logs up. So let's head in. And
he backs all the way up from the road?
Well, he could, or he could actually go up there and turn around too.
So Jim is just kind of wandering around looking at the trees and figuring out how he wants to get access to bring the horses in here and start on this job. It takes a lot of thought and planning to know what to start with. Of course, once again, he's looking for the trees that have the yellow markings on them. Those are the ones that are going to go. You got to do a lot of looking up in more ways than one when you're a logger, don't you?
Alright, well, I'm just going to get started. So I think I'm going to cut this tree. I have a spot down there that won't make a mess. And then it will go out that way, right past those other trees. And those other trees will probably I can dump them right this way after I get this one out of here. So, and it's fairly clear through there, so it's easy enough to get through, make a small trail to get through with the horses. So that's what I'll do. I'll grab my saw and put this right down there. After all these years of logging, you think I'd be so much better at knowing where the lean is. And I'm really not that good at it.
Well, just make me feel very confident that you know which way it's going to lean.
I'm the best. A couple days ago, I was when I was still back there at the job, I had a tree that I was having troubles putting down, and I had my yellow wedges, and I actually had 5 wedges in that tree, and I had run out of wedges, and I still hadn't got the tree down, and I knew it should go. The cut was fine. It's just there's quite a lot of lean the opposite way I was trying to put it. And so John, the forester here, came over, and I said, "Got any great ideas?" So he drove back to the school and came back with these.
That was nice of him.
So he gave me 4 brand new wedges, and I wanted to show you these. These have their emblems right on it, Paul Smith College, right on these wedges. And these are like 10-inch long wedges with a nice slow taper. And so for this big pine, it works really, really good. As you can see, I've already hit them with a chainsaw, and I'll continue to do that probably because that's just what we do. And but it's great to have these nice wedges, and I'm just thankful that the college was willing to give me these as a gift.
No, those are nice.
So hopefully these will work good. Another thing I wanted to talk to people about, we've had some comments on this. People think I'm unsafe not having chaps on. Well, I'd like people to see that these pants right here are chainsaw pants. They're made from Husqvarna and they're chainsaw pants here. And so there's Kevlar inside these pants to stop the chain if something goes wrong. I like these for wintertime logging. They're a little bit warm to wear. My chaps are better in the summertime because I can take them off when I'm not needing them on, and it's not quite so hot as these are. But for this time of year and going to the winter, they're great. As you can see, I've already got one hole in here, but that is not from being hit with a chainsaw. Well, it is sort of, but I'm surprised they actually ripped there. I should get Brenda to sew it up a little bit, but I was sharpening my chainsaw and actually the chain actually hit that and ripped it that little bit. So anyways, let's see if we can't get this tree down.
And we have had people ask you to, they want to see you sharpen your chainsaw, and sometime we're going to have to do that.
I'll do that.
Where do you want me?
Okay, I was very happy with that. This tree here, definitely it was time for it to cut. See all that rot in the middle? So that's just a good thing to know it's ready to go. Now here's a thought too, and it's probably not what Brenda's going to want to see, of course. But every time I cut a tree down before I go, I wait till the branches fall off, and I'm always looking up. And as you can see, there's two branches up there, not extremely big, but they are really lodged in that tree, and so I'm not concerned with them falling down unless we get a lot of wind. But I still will keep that in the back of my mind as I'm going about my work and try to get out of that area as fast as possible. But I'm really confident that they're not falling down until we get a pretty good windstorm, and that shouldn't be today.
Widowmakers.
No, they're not widowmakers.
That wouldn't kill you if it landed on you?
Just give you a headache.
Are you being serious or
I'm being
not?
serious.
You don't think those would kill you?
No. But we don't want to find out.
No, we don't. So how long is that? 16? Is that 16?
Yeah.
It's funny, it doesn't look it, but...
Got a little bit of trail right through here.
Okay.
Come in, hit right on that butt log, and snake it out of here.
We will leave the link in it. We already might have it in our Amazon store, but we'll leave the link below for the chainsaw pants. And
also, if we can find out where these wedges came from, we'll try to write that in there also. Just so
that's good. Yeah. Do you have a method for remembering where you put your wedges and your chainsaw and everything? Because it'd be pretty easy to lose all that stuff in the woods.
Yes, it is, and no, I don't.
Do you often lose things?
At times.
I see you're looking all the time to see what might be in the road. Because sometimes it's funny, the little teeny sticks and stuff, like in the sawmill, that's what trips me up sometimes. So they can be just as dangerous as the big things sometimes. So this is the horse's first time up this trail. They're going into the unknown. Trees right over there.
This is a nice tree right here, nice size log. The trees in this parcel, this lot, are nowhere near as big as the trees from my last job. And actually the best trees are still left to be cut, which is kind of exciting. That as soon as the ground freezes, I can get back in there and do that. But that being said, this particular tree has some pretty good size to it, and because of it, I think I'm still going to use the cradle hitch for a couple reasons. It's big enough that it sure won't hurt, but also I'm going to have to put my chains back farther on this log than I would like, just because it's tight to the ground. And I could use my logging tongs, but if I can get a chain around it, I probably won't bother.
Gee, and I thought this was set up great. I thought it was off the ground quite a bit.
Well, it is quite a ways back, but it's quite a ways back. Sometimes, after you get your chain underneath your log, you can kind of rock it back and forth like that to get it where you want it to be. So I got my first chain there. I'll slide my other chain underneath with the hook on the opposite side. thing. I'll walk it. I was going to back down there, but if I just move this stump, I can put the horse up in there and back down into there.
I'm noticing that Jim's already done a fair amount of work this morning just to get things set up, just so he can get started here.
You can see I'm 2 foot away from the tree. There's my other chain.
Yikes! See that?
Can't be a problem.
There's still those 2 up there. It's not a problem. It's just that it's a good work you were in a hard hat.
That's why you have to continually be looking.
Always look it up.
See you in a bit. That's not the big one.
No, it's not. It was just another one. That certainly unearthed some things. We'll have to move those. Yeah, it's warming up. So, do you think that was, it appeared quite easy for them to haul that?
No problem at all.
Yeah, it's nice.
Of course, it's somewhat downhill all the way.
Yeah.
If you can run down and get the casting oil, I'll do some scouting around, see what I want to do next.
Sounds like a plan. Well, I'm back, but looks to me like he didn't do too much scouting around.
Oh, yeah, I did. I know.
You did?
I know where I'm going next.
Okay.
So,
because he was right at the same spot when I left.
So, I want to explain on this tree. A lot of people ask us how we know to cut for lengths, and if it was a perfect tree, every log would be a 16-footer. but of course it's so often not a perfect tree. So this particular tree, what I'm doing is I cut that nice 16-footer off the butt, and I was going to cut a nice 16-footer off the second log, but then I realized that down there just a little ways, you'll see that log drops right down in dimension and size of the log quite a bit. You see that? Mm-hmm. So I need to be able to stop at that point. And if I cut a 16-foot off this log right here, then all I would have is 6 feet left to be able to cut right where I've got my mark. You see my mark right there?
Yep, it's right before that. Narrowing.
So we can't have 6-foot logs. So what I had thought about doing is making a 14-foot log and then a 8-foot log, which is, this is a 14 and this would be 8. But even 8-footers, the mills don't like 8-footers. They want longer the better, of course. So whenever I can cut a 10 instead of an 8, I try to do that. So I think what I'm going to do in this situation is, instead of a 14-foot on this log right here, I'm going to drop it back 2 feet. It's nice and straight, so it doesn't really matter. I'll cut it a 12-foot and a 10 as opposed to a 14-footer and 8, so I don't have that 8-foot log. Can you take this, Brenda?
Yep. Once again, you got to be thinking and planning ahead.
Take it up by that tree with the marks on up there.
Yep. So this doesn't, to me, appear to be a very high quality log, but what would the mill be doing with this?
Well, actually, these are good pieces right here. It's a little bit, limbs are kind of big on this one here, of course, but from here on in, it looks, they're pretty grubby. So what I'm going to do is this piece right here, I'm going to actually cut it right there. So we have a little bit of log, and from there I'll cut maybe an 8-footer, maybe a few 8-footers out through there. I'm not sure what I'll get, just to get this top cleaned up and utilize what we can. We have to deal with what we have and make with it what we can out of it.
Hey, hon, I just wanted to tell you something.
Huh?
I wanted to tell you something. I'm glad those things work so well, for one thing, because you can't hear when you have them on. Number 2, you can't hear with them out without them either.
This piece is hardly worth taking out.
Do you cut like that all down there just so that it will biodegrade better?
We don't need to lop our tops at all here, but sometimes we do, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And that situation right there, if you see, there's 2 trees that are marked right close by. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to need the room to operate. And they could go out the lower road that we'll be making, and they may, but I don't know yet. I might. There's quite a good access right here, so I think I might actually grab them even on this trail today. So that might be my next trees I cut. So I need to get this stuff cleaned up so I can operate. I did it without making too much of a mess for myself, so it's definitely doable. So this tree here, this thing, oh goodness, it's just so bad. We'll see.
See, these guys have been standing here perfect.
Some days they do. Some days they don't. Let me step a little bit. Oh. I could explain how to flip a card over right now. Ha, ha, hoop, ha, hoop, gee, 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 gee. Oh.
Well, maybe you could explain.
Well, if I had not unhitched that and continued to ask them to go, the cart would have, without a doubt, flipped over. Because it's just physics, I guess you could say. It's not lined up right, it's not gonna go right. So I stopped them, I set them over so the wheel is over here, and I hitched on the outer side of my cart. Now I can go and fairly confidently make it out of there without flipping it over. Also, by putting that rolling hitch on like I did, look at all the limbs that were in the dirt that are now exposed, and I can snip them off so we have a clean log. And careful step. Careful. Oh! Oh!
Are you okay?
Oh? Huh?
Are you okay?
Well, sure.
I don't know if I got that.
Gee a little bit. Gee, 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 ho, gee, 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 ho, ho. Bye. Ho. So, good learning moment here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so just stand behind that maple tree, you'll be safe.
Okay.
And I'll explain a couple things. So, I was pretty confident that by setting myself over and putting chain here as opposed to further over here, the cart wouldn't flip. Well, it's a long enough piece that it did flip, and no big deal. I'm quite used to flipping it over and you just jump off. But right now, we're sort of stuck here because the chain is very tight. The cart wheel is against the tire. I can't turn to my right because we have a tree in front of us. So what I'm going to have to do is actually go a ways, and the cart may flip over, but I'm not going to be on it. But more than likely, it will flip almost over, my guess. And if I just get a little bit of ways farther ahead, I can turn to the right and I can fix this problem. Let's see. Stand back a little bit more. Ho! Ho! G a little bit. G, G, G. Ho! G, 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 G. Oh! It's so nice to have horses, and so important to have horses that mind fairly well. So when you're in a situation like this, you can always throw your lines and let the horses go on their own, and when you haul a hoe, they'll stop. So I'm still not where I want to be. I need that tire over here and snugged up better so it stays in place. But now I can do it because I have, stop here, I'm able to unhitch. So, a little bit, ha, up, G, 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 oh, Of course, you gotta be careful when you're doing that because they think you're still hitched to that load and they're gonna wanna go fast. Back here, oh.
Do they like know when the cart is flipping?
Back bit. What's that?
Do they know when the cart is flipping, and does it seem to work them up a little bit?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. But because everything's tight, for example, with the D-ring harness, that's not allowed to go over than more just on its side. It just can't go any farther than just up on end. It can't. It's not like it can flip completely over. It's impossible.
Now, is this why some people think that using a cart is not good?
Well, sure. I mean, when I first started using the cart 40 years ago, I literally flipped this thing over 4 or 5 times a day. I guess I'm kind of a slow learner. And careful step. Careful, careful. Oh. Well, I think that's enough for today. What do you think?
I think it is.
I think there's more footage we can fit on the film.
But I do want to just ask you, since we've talked about the disadvantage of the cart, and I know you've talked about it before, but just a quick overview of why do you like the cart so much?
I'm lazy. I don't want to walk back and forth all the time.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of danger in the logs moving back and forth.
To me, I personally am safer on the cart than on the ground.
So you feel,
other people do it differently, and I have no problems, whatever. But for myself,
and you feel like you can sometimes pull out more with a cart, right?
Absolutely, because you got a little bit of a lift, yes.
Yeah.
And I feel I have way better control of my horses when I'm right up there, where I can brace my legs and have good control of my horses.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.
If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, but just thanks for coming along.